Welcome to Books and Besties, the virtual book fair. Share this link with others and get ready for something awesome. Books and Besties, the virtual book fair.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone it is for you. Welcome to today's episode of Books and Besties, where we are chatting with authors, entrepreneurs, community, and ministry leaders. I am your co-host, Dr. Angie BEE. My bestie, author Avalon S. Brown, will be joining us shortly. I just wanted to pop in and say hi to everybody and let you know that we're here to pray with you, pray for you, and to also answer your questions. So along the show today, if you discover that you have any questions, you can text them to 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. And we will get your question answered either because of your co-host or because of the guests on the show today. I do have a very special announcement from Shekinah Downs. There is a workshop coming up. The live workshop is in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's called Preventing Burnout Behind the Sacred Desk. Preventing Burnout Behind the Sacred Desk. It's going to take place February 28th, 2026 from 10 a.m. to 12 noon in Daytona Beach, Florida, 128 Orange Avenue. If you'd like more information or would like to register Preventing Burnout Behind the Sacred Desk, you can register at www.cjaqis.com. That's cjaqis.com. Then they've got the virtual event coming up on March 7th, same time, 10 a.m. to noon. And to register for this virtual event, visit www.cjaqis.com. If we have time later on in the show, we'll put that information back on the screen for you. But I just wanted you to know there's so many of us that are concerned about you, what you do, you and yours. Okay. It's time for my bestie to come on screen right now. Good morning, Avalon. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone out there?
I know. I'm just coming back from the Fresh Book Festival. Got my t-shirt on.
Uh-oh,
15,
uh-oh.
15 years of magnifying literacy. I tell you, I'm excited about it.
Wow, you were out there in that nice heat while I was here trucking in the snow.
Next year, you're going to join us in Daytona Beach. Next year. Yep. But it was a fantastic 3-day event. Thursday night, they had the film festival. And we talked a little bit about how authors are interested in turning their books into a film or a movie or a stage play, something like that. And so we got to see a couple of films. And we were on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University. So a lot of the students were there. And it was really, really nice.
Nice.
It was nice. Both of the films were really different. And so yeah, I like that variety. I like that. And
Wow.
then
Wow.
and then Friday and Saturday we had the actual book festival. There were about 35 authors in this gymnasium. We got to meet and network with all of them and talk with them. And they fed us lunch and dinner both days. And so
Whoa.
I know, I know. So yeah, it was a wonderful weekend. I just needed just a little bit more energy to be able to hang out, because afterwards they went to a jazz bar and I was
Oh
like,
my
no,
goodness.
I'm going to bed. I can't
I'm
hang with y'all.
tired, right?
I've been here since noon. I'm tired. I'm tired. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it worked out really
That
nicely.
sounds nice.
Hmm.
Sound like you had a lot of fun.
I did, and met a lot of neat people, a lot of cool people. Even the mayor of the city, his daughter is maybe
Wow.
9 or 10. She wrote a book and she was running
Oh,
around. Yeah, she's so
showing her
cute.
book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They pulled her up to the stage because they interview all of the authors, and so
Okay.
it was her turn, and they asked her what was her inspiration for her book, and she said, "Well, actually, my mother wrote the book. I was just the inspiration behind it." So, you know how that is. Just adorable, precocious and adorable, I tell you. Mhm. So, what you been up to?
Oh, let's see. I'm still working on the nursing books. Trying to do some marketing. It's Black History Month, so I've been advertising my book,
Yeah,
Why Nursing is Our Passion, We Can't Quit, and
right,
just kind of honoring those nurses from back in the day that paved the way for us
right,
to even get into for blacks to even get into nursing. So
right,
just trying to
right.
do a little of that, keeping busy.
Well, I love this flyer that you made for me for the Still I Care book, Nurses
Oh yeah,
Rising After Video. Thank you for that one. I
yes,
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah. And it, it's admirable what you do. I had people that came to my table and I had that book on display with my other books. And a couple of people asked me, "Are you a nurse?" I said, "No, I got to contribute from a patient's point of view."
right,
And
yes,
so that was exciting to be able to just to be able to have a little bit of variety on my table.
right, yeah. So I figure now that I've finished with all the grandchildren have a book of their own. So now I can focus on my nursing books.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Focus on your nursing books. And then what I also want us to focus on would be getting reviews. Reviews of our books,
Yes,
I feel are so important. So we're going to take a
yes,
minute and play this video about reviews. There's an author, uh, Marshall Short. Marshall G. Short, she wrote a book, Where There Is a Will, There's a Way. And it talks about getting your final papers in order. If you're going to have a will or a trust, and the kids need to know where to go to get everything and who to call. And so she received a lot of reviews from her book. So we're going to play this
nice.
video and then we'll be back with more Books and Besties in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Reviews. Where There Is a Will, There Is a Way has so much information in it that everyone needs to purchase one now. Linda Weaver. Where There Is a Will, There Is a Way was an excellent read and very informative. The book put a lot of things in perspective regarding preparation during life and after death that I honestly never thought of. Would highly recommend everyone to read. Avery Murray Jr. This estate planning workbook has been transformative for my spouse and me. Its practical approach made discussing sensitive topics like guardianship and beneficiaries approachable. We appreciate the clear guidance and relatable scenarios which allowed us to get our affairs in order. It's a must read for anyone at any stage of life. My husband and I really appreciate it. Kiera Henderson. Where there is a will, there is a way provided clear and concise information regarding a wide range of issues from financial planning to end-of-life preparation that we or our family and friends will have to face at some point. I read it in its entirety in one day. I plan to go back over some of the chapters. The scenarios were so well illustrated and gave it a nice touch. I was deeply moved by the transparency of the author, revealing first-hand experiences that she and her siblings encountered while settling the estate of their parents. Purchase the book for yourself and those you care about. Phyllis T. Mitchell. Where there is a will, there is a way, written and compiled by Marshall G. Short, is about to make estate planning easy. If you do not know what to do or where to start, Where there is a will, there is a way is highly recommended. It is easy to read and has various scenarios to follow along for clarity. When my dear mother passed away suddenly, we were all in shock and did not have her final wishes in place. Due to not having this valuable resource, we had to learn what to do quick and fast. Talk about overwhelming and stressful. There was so much to know, do, and understand in such a short period of time. Since receiving a copy of this book, I have begun to put things in place for myself and for other family members to avoid some of the painful lessons that we had to learn on the spot. The author has done an excellent job of simplifying terms while educating us about the necessary documents, such as legal documents, financial documents, and other documents, along with passwords and codes that we will need to have in place. This book is truly a blessing. It is a valuable and life-changing investment and is worth more than the selling price. Therefore, if you are considering whether to purchase a copy for yourself or your family members, then allow me to validate that this book is for you. Deborah Greenlee. I love that. I absolutely love that. You are watching Books and Besties, and we just heard some reviews of a book written by Marshall G. Short. The name of the book is Where There Is a Will, There's a Way. And she has encouraged each of us to ask for a review. You know, we sell our books, we give our books away, and we need to be asking for reviews after they read it. Now, some relatives, you give them a book, they're not going to read it because they knew you before you wrote the book. So if they just ain't interested. But always ask them to leave a review on Amazon. They can write your review and you can put it on your website. Either way, ask for the review. Okay, it's time for Avalon to come on back in. Avalon, we have author Faireen. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. Fairren. Can you tell us
That's
about
how I
her?
pronounce it.
Oh, okay. She gonna come in here and
I
tell us.
pronounced it the same way.
Yep, Faireen. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, yes, that's different too. Marine
Mm.
is an award-winning author. She's a speaker and an advocate who uses her voice to inspire self-love and empower people to embrace their differences. Inspired by motherhood and her daughter, Camilla, journeys with a rare genetic condition. Her work centers on resilience, hope, and shining through life's challenges.
Mm.
And I
All
hope I
right.
pronounced your daughter name right.
Farine, come on in the studio. Good morning. Good morning, dear. Oh, did we lose her? I hope not. I hope she's there. Okay, let's see. We'll give her just a couple more minutes and see if she can come back in. That is a beautiful name though, Farine.
Yeah, and it's different.
How did you meet her?
On Facebook. On Facebook.
I tell you, people want to talk bad about Facebook, but we meet more than half of our clients and
Yes.
more than half of our guests on Facebook. So, all right, let's see if we can bring Farine on. There she is with that
Yes.
beautiful smile.
Hi.
How are you?
How you doing? I'm blessed. How are you doing today?
Good, good.
Thank you for joining us on the show today. Now, pronounce your name for us to be sure we
Okay.
got it right.
It's Farron.
Oh,
Farron.
Farron. Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's beautiful.
Trust me, I get it
You,
all the time.
that's beautiful. Well, welcome to the show. What are you up to this week? What's been keeping you busy?
You know what? I actually have been. First, I have to thank you both for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure to, be a part of this amazing journey. So thank you so much for having me. Lately, as Avalon mentioned, I am the author of Shining Through My Journey with Incontinentia Pigmenti, inspired by my incredible daughter Kamaya. She has been the inspiration behind this entire author journey, actually, with her being born with her rare genetic condition, incontinentia pigmenti, or IP, because I know it's a really long name. So lately, I have actually been writing the series to Shining Through, which is going to be called Shining Through My Journey, or excuse me, it's going to be Shining Through The Journey Continues. That is the name of the upcoming book. Because this is a journey with her rare genetic condition, I felt it necessary to provide an update as far as growth. Right, the first Shining Through was published 2 years ago in March, so this book will actually be published on the same date in honor of the journey. So that's what I've been up to. Just
Nice.
getting that series started so I can give an update on Kamaya.
Awesome.
Good.
Good, good. Do you mind explaining what the condition is, what it consists of?
Absolutely. So, incontinentia pigmenti it's a skin condition. It primarily affects the skin, but it can also affect depends on how the severity that you have it. So, if you have it mildly, you can have missing or peg-shaped teeth. You can have alopecia. It can affect your central nervous system, causing developmental delays, strokes, or seizures. You can also have roughed or pitted fingernails.
What?
So the skin condition piece of it starts with swirls, like swirl patches, and then it goes to wart like bumps
Oh
that
my
can be
God.
for that can kind of rise above the skin. So it depends on the severity of it that you have the strokes and the seizure piece of it. So, my journey started in motherhood, in which um, a rare genetic condition that no one has ever heard of. When
Mm-hmm.
Kamaya was diagnosed with this condition, we all had to research her symptoms to figure out what was causing some of the things that she experienced, which
Mm-hmm.
is a stroke, which is a seizure, in the NICU. So she was born in May, and we didn't leave the NICU till July.
Oh my God.
Oh,
So again, she has it severely, but I always asked God, how can my passion is to uplift and inspire and empower. And I
Right.
always ask God, how can I do that? Not ever knowing that it was going to be my own journey, my own lived experiences. So in 2015, when Kamaya was born, I already had wrote my journey. You know, as a first time mom, having an emergency C-section, then dealing with all of this with my newborn, I already had began to write down what I was feeling and what my thoughts was, not ever knowing that God was preparing me for this moment to become an author of Shining Through, inspired by this amazing, bright little girl who I've included during the entire journey. So she lives with IP, but as her mother, I am her advocate. I am out here teaching others about it. Because when you hear IP or when you hear incontinency or pigmenty, I always get, what is that? I don't know what that is. So I know that I always have to explain it, but it just goes back to me asking God, how can I
Yes. Yes.
uplift and inspire
Right.
and encourage, or how can I teach that important concept of self-love, right?
Mhm.
So the mission is to teach not only my daughter Kamaya, but just those who are living with any differences at all, that
Right.
they can learn to embrace and see who and love who they see in that mirror when they look in it, each time. And so that's how the journey started. And then shortly after I wrote Shining Through, I actually wrote The Voice of a Mother's Pain. And that book actually, accompanied by four other mothers, we share our journey with raising children with disability. So
Mhm.
we go deeper into that journey. So that book actually takes you on the journey with me and Kamaya and the NICU stay and the Ronald McDonald House stay.
Yes.
And then even me just recovering from the emergency C-section, and me having to go back into the hospital, because I ended up getting an infection, uh,
Mhm.
because I wasn't worried about me. You know, as a mother,
Right. Right.
concern is to make sure that your baby is okay. So
Mhm.
the focus just went directly off of me, and I realized that I needed to take a step back, and take care of myself. But at the same time, there was all these things that were happening with Kamaya that we needed to figure out before we can go home. And so, with the incredible team, you know, the healthcare team, the neurologist, the genetic doctor, and this just our research on figuring out what this rare genetic condition is. Incontinentia pigmenti was a diagnosis.
Mhm.
It's just the symptoms are so random.
Mhm.
From your hair
Yes.
to your teeth to your nails to a
Mhm.
stroke to what kind of foolishness?
And you know, the another crazy part of it is, my prenatal appointments were perfect.
Mhm.
There
Mm.
was no signs, there was no warning that this was going to happen.
Wow.
The condition is passed from mother to daughter. So I got tested to see if I was a carrier of this gene, and I'm not.
Well, oh,
And it cannot be passed from father to daughter because it is a X-linked dominant. So it's in the X chromosome. So her father
Mm.
can't pass it to her either. And so what I also learned just during my research, that it's a spontaneous mutation that happened,
wow.
in her X chromosome
Mm.
gene, that caused
Wow.
her to have the condition. Now, another fun fact about the condition is that it's lethal in boys.
Oh, Jesus.
So most mothers, if they're the
Wow.
carrier of this gene and they are pregnant with a boy, they're most likely to miscarry.
Mm, mm, mm.
Now
Mm.
there are boys and men who are living with IP, but they typically have it more severely,
Oh, Jesus.
than the girls have it, because we have two X chromosomes, so we have one that would compensate the other, right?
Mhm.
And so again, just what I've learned about this whole journey is that I can question. They say, never question God, and And of course there those thoughts came, right? What did I do wrong? Or did I carry her wrong? And I began to take the blame at some point. And the question became, not why me and why not me, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm here, right? I'm here.
Right.
And I have this amazing, incredible daughter who is just a light. I do also have a son,
Mhm.
but he again didn't have the gene. We tested him very early at 8 weeks, and he doesn't have IP, as I'm not the carrier, right?
Yeah.
But there's still that 50% chance.
And tell me
Probably
again, how old is
some
your daughter?
She is 10.
Oh,
10 years.
wow.
Hmm.
Probably somewhere down the line, way back, someone had it.
Yes.
Because I have something rare that's only like 2% blacks. Somewhere down the lines, my mother don't know where, I have like hemoglobin C, but it's not sickle cell, but only 2% blacks get it. So, but I did go down the history, and there's
Mhm.
some Mediterranean family way, way, way down the line. So, somewhere, you probably will never find out who.
Yeah. Yep,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's what I thought, because knowing the symptoms of it, just looking at my family now, no one has any of those symptoms, so it
Mhm.
definitely had to be somewhere way before me that
Yeah.
that gene is that happened through our bloodline.
Mm, mm, my
Wow.
God, my God.
Yeah.
That little baby.
Yeah.
I bet she's just the brightest, most joyful
Mhm.
child ever. I bet. You
She
know?
is, I tell people all the time that I don't think she realized how much of an inspiration she is to me. I always say we're all different anyway, right? But having raising a child with a disability really, she don't know how much she's teaching me in this moment.
Mm,
One, just
Yes.
for me to have self love, right? For me to love the person that I see in the mirror
Right.
every day. So while I get to teach her these things, I'm also learning this myself. Being able to teach her that. And then her brother, they're 4 years apart, so he's 6, but he protects her like he's the big brother.
oh.
I know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's very understanding, just of how she learns, and so she has an
Oh,
IEP in
nice.
school, because she has a developmental delay. So she does have an
Mhm.
IEP in school. And in speech and occupational therapy is another thing that she
Oh, good.
gets to do. But all the things and all of the support has been phenomenal through the journey. So
That's
that has
great.
also
Yes.
helped us through the journey as well.
Praise God.
Yes.
Praise God.
Yes.
Mm,
I
mm,
was
mm.
wondering if they had like a support group. You said
Hmm.
you and the other mothers, you wrote a book?
Hmm.
You, oh, nice.
So they're so I'm in there with IP, and then there's some mothers that wrote about their children with autism.
Mhm.
And then there's another mother who wrote about, I don't know if you ever heard of Golden Haar's
Mm-mm.
condition. She wrote about that. So we
Mm-mm.
all came
Probably do.
together. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, it's where um, I believe it's where body parts are not in the right place or something like that. Um,
Mm, mm,
if I
mm.
remember
Mm.
correctly. But that was a journey in itself because you
Yeah.
have to go back and you have to live those moments again, right?
Yeah.
And it can be traumatizing because you get to go back and you have to tell this story again. But I think that's where the joy of it is, because you're writing from that pain and people are going to feel that journey that you've been through, but it's also going to inspire other families or other
Yeah.
mothers
Absolutely.
or other fathers
Absolutely.
who are
Absolutely.
going through that. My goal is to help them see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because this journey can be dark. It can be very
Mhm.
dark sometimes, and it depends on what your mindset and what your perspective is. For us, we decided to embrace the journey, and I think that's what helped us
Yeah.
embracing the journey and what it is. Um, And then of course, just leaning on God to get us through. I don't think we're here by mistake at
Right.
all.
Right.
I think this is definitely what God has planned for our lives. And so I definitely, again, had to just shift my mindset on it. Because, again, the first time mom, I don't know what's going on. You're telling me my daughter, and it actually started out with a hole in her rectum because
Oh,
she
Mm,
my.
had air in her intestines. So
mm,
it actually started with that before it got to the swirls, before it got to
wow.
the stroke, before it got to the seizure. So it was that first where she had a colostomy bag. Um, and this was just first month, right? First month of life.
Mm,
All of this happened. So again, coming from having a emergency C-section, and then you're telling me this about my baby, like what? And
right.
so trying to
Yeah.
process all of this and figure out where to go um, through this journey, it was definitely challenging, but my faith is what pulled me through because I had to trust God to get me through this journey. Otherwise, whew, I tell people all the time that I'm grateful that God chose me to be her mother because I don't think that anybody else would have handled it like this.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh,
Um,
yes, Lord.
and so I'm grateful that I get to be the one that she calls mom. I'm grateful that I get to be the one to do this, to advocate, to uplift and inspire and to empower families and just to help them know that they're also seen, they're heard, their voice matters. It's
Right.
important for me to help them see that piece of it. I get all the time, how are you like this? Like you would think you would be sad, or you would think you would be, trust me, it is challenging. I've
Mhm.
never faded from that.
Yes.
It is challenging. However, um, I just serve a God who,
Yes.
spite of,
Yeah.
right? In
Yes. That's
spite of
right.
this, um,
Yes.
I know what it looks like, but at the same time, he has the final say, and he's literally been guiding us through this journey. So I'm grateful to be here, even though it's not easy. I'm an open book. I tell people all the time, ask me about it.
Yes.
I'd rather you ask me than to stare at her, or you know,
Right.
Mhm.
like
Right.
Yeah.
don't just do that. Like ask, because it's me being able to educate you on the journey, or just teaching people how to handle someone with IP,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Because handling
Mhm.
someone with a disability in general, you have to
Right.
handle them with care. So I
Right.
get to do that for her until she can for herself, but she'll be 11 in May, so
Oh,
she is getting older, and I still get to be able to teach her all these amazing things, and she's been a part of the entire journey. So
okay.
when at book signing, she's signing the book with me. Um,
Oh,
Nice.
literally included in everything because this is just as much as her journey as it is mine.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Listen, we're going to take just a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I want to know about the publishing process for you. So don't go anywhere, family. We'll be right back. Divinely chosen, the Lord God with a master plan. Dr. Doretha Smith's book has an inspiring message of faith, purpose, and divine guidance through heartfelt reflections and spiritual insight. She reminds readers that God's plan is always perfect, even when life feels uncertain. This book is a call to trust in His timing, follow His directions, and embrace the unique calling He has placed upon your life. With wisdom grounded in scripture and personal testimony, Dr. Smith empowers you to step boldly into your God-given destiny, knowing you have been divinely chosen for a purpose greater than yourself. Divinely Chosen, the Lord God with the Master Plan, written by Dr. Doretha Smith. Search for Divinely Chosen Lord Master Plan on Amazon. And don't forget to leave a review. Every woman has a room. Every story builds the house. Rooms Inside Her, an anthology. Rooms Inside Her will be a powerful anthology that explores the deeply personal, yet universally relatable stories of women from all walks of life. Purpose and Impact is to celebrate the diverse voices of women and their experiences, regardless of background. Create a community of shared experiences, sparking conversations around identity, womanhood, healing, and triumph. Submission deadline is August 15th, 2025. Submission fee is $250. Send an email to sisterbatten@gmail.com, sisterbatten@gmail.com. Rooms Inside Her. Sister Batten is still accepting stories for Rooms Inside Her. So don't miss this opportunity to be in that anthology, just to be able to express myself as a woman, a room that was inside me. Just writing the story was truly encouraging for me. So I do encourage everyone to be a part of that book. And later on in the show, we're going to talk about the anthology that Avalon and I are working on for men. It's called I've Had Wives and I've Had Friends, but we'll talk about that one later. Avalon, come on back in. Oh my goodness. That's
Yes.
a powerful testimony.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And see, this was, I guess that's why pediatric wasn't one of my areas to work in as choice,
Mhm.
because during my training, I saw all those different types of uh, diseases and diagnosis in the children's hospital because we had to do a rotation, and that it was just like I knew I didn't want to work in peds. It was just like a lot, a lot. And she's such an inspiration because her upbeat spirit keeps her child,
Mhm.
with the upbeat spirit. It's just
Yeah.
beautiful, the
Yeah.
work that she's doing, yeah, and to make others aware. When she talked about it, I knew when she said it, it had something to do with the skin and pigmentation, but the first word, it's been so many years since I've been in school and nursing school. I didn't remember what the first part was, but then when she started explaining, I
Right.
kind of got the
Right.
picture. Yeah,
Right. But I'd still, man.
yeah,
I mean,
it's a lot.
everybody knows I live with alopecia. That's who I am. I'm the
Yeah,
one of the alopecia queens on Facebook. That's me. But to have to deal with hair loss when your child has to deal with it, that has always
yes,
been heartbreaking for me. Because kids at school can be cruel, and
right.
um, and they really don't need to be. They all got something going on with them. So for them to pick on folks, but I want to bring our guest back in because a question came in just before we went to break. Do you homeschool your daughter, or is she in mainstream school?
She is in mainstream school. So she has a IEP at school that helps her get that extra support.
Nice, nice. Do you have well, tell us about your publishing process. Did you self-publish? Did you have a publisher? And how was that experience?
So yes, so I self-published. It's really funny though because when I decided to write the book, I didn't know anything about the journey of publishing a book. What I ended up doing is just simply Googling, self publishing companies. I know most of them will send you, free material on their company. And the company I chose was Ex Libris Publishing
Hmm.
because what stand out about them is when I submitted the information just to get, information about their company, someone actually called me. And my first thought was like, why is she calling me? Like I just asked for the information so I can, review it myself. But I already had the manuscript done and she was just interested in learning about what I had to say. So I instantly sent her over and I told her, I said, it's not done yet. It was just kind of a rough draft of what I wanted the book to say. But she was so inspired by the message that she wanted to jump right in. And I'm
Mhm.
like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, like I don't really know, where to go, what I'm doing, but it felt right. It felt right. Um, and it was such a smooth process. There was no hiccups. I literally had full control on what I wanted. Um, and even down, I had a team of illustrations, editing team, and literally, it was a very smooth process. I think we started probably November 23, and I was published by March of 24.
Wonderful.
So very, very short process. And I think it's just because it was something I was already, um, you know, preparing for. But the company just kind of came in and just did what I asked them to do. And then the Voice of a Mother's Pain was through Dr. Carolyn Stevens, HC Media, which is an author that I met just through the journey. She has a publishing company, so I met her, and she was willing to help me self-publish that book. Another very simple process. So my whole thing was just making sure I connected with people. I believe in divine connection and I don't just want to connect with anybody. But because those processes were just very smooth. I know you hear some of the issues with self-publishing, but so far both processes have been pretty smooth for me. So I'm grateful for that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. The thing you said that stood out to me the most is that somebody called. And when I teach my interns about follow up and follow through and even sales, that's the one big thing is make the phone call. Make the phone call. It glues you
Mhm.
to that company. And so yeah, if you want to have a good piece of advice for follow through, make a phone call. Yeah,
Absolutely.
makes a
Yeah,
difference.
and just show that they were interested. I know, they're a company and they want your business, but it was just the feedback too. That was another thing. After reading the manuscript, I got a long email just about the feedback and help them begin to embrace their differences because they also had some differences. And so it was just in that moment that before the book even came out, I was already doing what I'm passionate about, even in that moment.
Yes.
And so that was another thing. They didn't just say, "Hey, I want your business." They took time to read the manuscript, took time to. This is what I got out of the manuscript. So that was important for me as well.
Wonderful news. Wonderful. Praise God. Praise God. Oh, I tell you, out of, and I don't want to call it tragedy, but out of something different, we can
Mhm.
become so much stronger than we were before. We
Yes.
Absolutely.
definitely can. Definitely.
What's the name of the book again?
So
The first book.
the first book is "Shining Through My Journey" with Incontinentia Pigmenti.
And we can reach you. I see it in on the screen, your name
Mhm.
and Shopify.
Yes. So you can follow me on Facebook at author Farron McLemore. And you can visit my website, authorfarronmclemore.myshopify.com.
Okay, sounds good. Do you have any closing thoughts or um, words of advice for someone who may be going through something similar with their child or just going, how did you turn into super mom, I guess is what is what I'm trying to say. Can you give us any words of wisdom?
Absolutely. First, embrace the journey. Embrace the journey and know that you're not alone. That your story matters, that you are seen, that you are heard. There's light at the end of the tunnel, regardless of those dark moments. But you have to keep going. You have to lean into that hope. Hope is what connects us to our future. So it's important that you keep going, no matter what it feels like, um, and keep the faith. You
Oh,
know, faith,
yes.
Yes,
faith is
yes.
what definitely this journey has strengthened my faith. And so just faith that in spite of it all, that everything is still going to be okay.
Yes.
Pray without ceasing and
Yes,
keep
I
the
know,
faith.
right?
Keep the faith.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Faith, forgiveness,
Yes.
that's your foundation. That is wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I really don't want you to leave. If it's okay, I'm going to put you backstage just because I want to give folks time to text in their questions.
Okay.
So if you have a question for our author, you can text it to 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. I'm going to put you backstage for just a little bit,
Okay.
and then we'll be able to get that done. We got some shout outs this morning. Thank you to Leola for watching us. Leola Antoinette Rouse Scott. Thank you, Leola, for the hearts and the love. Thank you, thank you. And thank you to Malachi Steele Sr. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my brother. Thank you for joining us today and getting us the hearts. That is wonderful. I tell you, we talk about Avalon, we talk about writer's block, and what are we going to write next? And I think that author is just,
Yes.
she's just writing what she's experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing, because we all go through something.
Yes. So true. So true.
Yeah, we all go through something. All right, let's hear from Two Tunes and his guitar journey, and we'll be right back, everybody.
A must-read for every music lover and aspiring dreamer. The ups and downs of Toon's guitar journey. Follow the incredible journey of North Toombs Woodall in his new memoir. From the moment he picked up a guitar at age 11 to forming his own bands and performing alongside world-renowned musical legends, this book captures the soul, the struggle, and the ultimate triumph of a true artist. Order your copy today. Available on Amazon and Tunes.net. That's the number 2, Tunes.net. The ups and downs of Toon's guitar journey. Order your copy today.
Mommy, why do I have a cold? Written by Avalon Soulette Brown. Dedications. This book is dedicated to all of my grandchildren. You are always coming to hug and kiss Nana, especially when you have runny noses, sneeze, or cough. Nana loves you. Let's work together to keep the germ population down.
Mommy, where do colds come from? Why do I have one?
Mommy, why do I have a cold? Written by Avalon Soulette Brown. Narrated by Sonia B., Sandra B., produced for audiobook by Angie BEE Productions, and narrated by me, the Queen Bee, Angie. We can help you put the pieces together. Audiobooks, flyers, commercials, and more. Angie BEE Productions on Facebook. You are watching today's live episode of Books and Besties. Me and my bestie Avalon, we do this we do this show to feature authors, business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and ministry leaders. Yeah, that's why we do this, because we're curious. We want to know. And so we've got a wonderful guest that has been blessing us indeed throughout today's episode. And if you have any questions for her, you can send a text to 407 914 6519. 914 6519. I mentioned earlier that Avalon and I are working on a new anthology. I've had wives and I've had friends, and I'm going to play that video for you in just a minute. If you are a man and you have thoughts, ideas, and issues that you've had with a woman, we need to hear from you. How are we going to figure out how to love you if we don't understand you? So that's why we're writing this book. We want you to be a part of it. And so I'm going to play the quick video right quick, and then we can talk about it when Avalon comes back. I've had wives and I've had friends. An anthology for women written by the men we are trying to love. Gentlemen, you are cordially invited to become an author by sharing your thoughts and experiences in our anthology. Tell us about your love for sports. Tell us about your love for grooming. Tell us about your love for gaming. Tell us what you want us to know. Submit your bio, headshot, and your story, along with the submission fee of $250. Send it to Author Avalon Brown 165 at yahoo.com, or you may send your info to Angie BEE Presents at gmail.com. An anthology for women written by the men we are trying to love. I've had wives and I've had friends. Brought to you by author Avalon S. Brown and me, the Queen Bee, Dr. Angie BEE. Yeah, that book was inspired by a man who calls me his friend. And so we were having a conversation one time, and I don't remember exactly what I asked him. Something like, if you could write a handbook for women to read, what would it be like? And he said, well, I've had wives and I've had friends, and so I think I could contribute some kind of wisdom, but I'd have to put some thought to it. And so I got in touch with Avalon. I said, this is going to be our next book project, because we want to know what men want us to know. Ain't that right, Avalon? We want to know, Avalon. You on camera. We want to know,
Yes,
what
yes.
do men... Man, I tell you, I've had wives and friends. It's something.
Can't figure that one out.
Yeah, really? I know.
I'm curious to see what they would write. I really am.
I think about past relationships and the problems that came up in those relationships, and the common denominator is a lack of communication. You know, if they don't say it or reveal it, how are we supposed to know? So maybe this book will tell us how we're supposed maybe it'll tell us how we're supposed to know. Maybe.
Yes, men. Come on, let us know.
Yeah. Brother Malachi, if you're still watching, we need to have your input about women. I'm pretty sure you may have something creative that you can write about. So that's good. It looks like we have a question for you, Avalon. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, tell us more about the book. Tell us more about the book. Mommy, why do I have a cold?
Oh, yes, that book has been out for a couple of years. It was inspired by I was at a book expo, and a teacher there from my town realized I was a nurse, and she was saying I should write books, um, for children books regarding my field. And at the time, I was working as an infection control nurse, so I thought about one of my granddaughters who always have a cold. So that title came in my head, "Mommy, why do I have a cold?" So the book, actually, the way I did the book, the little girl was asking the grandmother, who's a nurse, where do colds come from and why do she have one? So what I put in the book was different little things um, that might cause a child to have a cold, or anyone, asking the child about washing their hands, being around other children. So it's like a picture book. I talk about uh, what might have made her have a cold, and I put a picture there for different little things, far as wearing hats and coats and
Right,
being around other children that's coughing and sneezing, and how
right.
to cough in your arm or sneeze in your arm, washing your hands. So the book, it's sort of a fun book, but an educational book at the same time.
That is so good. That is so good. I'm proud of you. Proud of you.
Thank
That
you.
between that one and the nursing book, yeah, we taking care of ourselves. Taking good care of ourselves. That's
And you want to know a little story about that? It's so funny. My
mhm.
landlord had came, and it's flu season, so he had did something for me. So I was giving him the book, and I said, "Do you mind if I give you the book?" He said, "Yeah, I got a little niece." And it's so funny when he got home and he texted me back, and he said, "You know what? I was looking through this book, and I realized myself that I had sneezed in your house and I didn't cover my mouth, or I didn't do. I should do some of these things that's in this book myself." And now this is a person that's almost 60 years old. So
Yeah.
it can go both ways for adults or children.
Right.
It was written for children, but some of the things in it is, do you do this as an adult too?
Mhm.
That those same things might cause you to get a cold.
Mhm. It seems like we would have learned from the pandemic, but how quickly we forget to do to do certain things. How
True.
quickly we forget. And I'm going to bring our author back in because that kind of reminds me. I have a question for you, sweetie. Um, I know with certain autoimmune disorders, patients need to avoid getting sick or avoid, environments where they could get sick. Does your daughter have any kind of restrictions like that?
Yes, so we definitely have to make sure we build her immune system, because there are a lot of things that can cause her to have a seizure. So we want to make sure that, like, one of the seizures she had was because she spiked a high fever, or
Mm,
febrile seizure. So we definitely make sure that we build her immune system, and or if she has a fever or if she does get sick, we try to cure it fast, just so
Yes.
we can avoid, that being a part of her having another seizure. So yes, but thankfully, we've been keeping her immune system built strong enough that she has not been sick.
and what are you using to build her immune system?
So just mainly vitamins, vitamin C.
Okay.
Vitamin C is the biggest thing that we use to help build her immune system. Because yeah, you're right. All those kids, you don't know how they're protecting their immune systems, or if they
Right.
are. But I'm gonna have to get a copy of that book because I teach my kids the same.
Thank you.
My son especially is always like, and I'm like, no. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to get a copy of that book so they can see that, because I also often teach that to them, because of all the germs, and like you
Mhm.
mentioned, Dr. Angie, you would think we would learn from COVID, because COVID, washing your hands, I think it should have been a thing that we continue to do, after
Yeah,
it. But
you'd be
yes, that,
surprised.
yep. So that's one of the things we have to monitor is her being sick and how long.
Do you have a copy of the book handy so we can see the cover?
Oh, can you see
Oh,
it?
look.
Oh, that's
Can you see it? Oh wait,
yeah.
it's a little glare. There it is.
Yeah,
That
I see
is
it. Yes.
It's just a little fun book, a little fun thing. One of the favorite parts, we break down the word "I'm possible," right? Because that the word, impossible, we break it down as "I'm possible," right? Because there's
Yes.
nothing impossible. So this is one of my favorite pictures where she's pushing the word "I'm possible,"
Oh, nice.
because it's not impossible, it's "I'm possible." So
Right.
one of my favorite parts of the book. And then the ending is also, this is her kicking incontinentia pigmenti.
oh,
Oh.
That's her fighting it, and saying that incontinentia pigmenti does not have her, she has it.
Oh, nice.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the
That's
children. And
awesome.
then here's the copy of The Voice of a Mother's Pain.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So,
I
yeah,
like that.
And that flower is so significant on
yeah.
that cover.
Yeah, and I
Mm,
thought, I wanted to represent. I know a lot of people, when they hear the voice of a mother's pain, I always say that it's also for the fathers too, because the fathers go through it just as we go through it.
mm,
Right.
So I always try to make sure I put this for the mothers and the fathers, so they don't think like, "Oh, it's a mom book," um, because I want to be able to make sure that families um,
Yes.
get to actually get that support from it.
absolutely. Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I just can't thank you enough for
You're welcome.
introducing me to the diagnosis, your daughter, and you. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you
Yes.
so much for having me. It's been a joy.
Oh, we learned so much, especially um, how to keep the faith.
Yes,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. That's gonna keep you going. Because when you
Thank
lose faith, you lose hope, right? We can't lose hope.
That's true. Yeah.
You
you.
gotta you gotta keep the faith so you keep going.
All
Um,
right. All right. Well, we'll let you go this time for real. You can stick around if you like, but we appreciate you, dear. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
but thank
Yes.
you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much, Author Avalon. You both have an amazing day.
You
You
too.
too. Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that was
Very
wonderful.
educational. Yeah. And
Hmm.
inspiring. Yeah. And like she
Hmm.
said, they don't think about the fathers is going through it also because everybody just looks at the mother.
Right. Right. And, I forgot to ask her if she's working outside the home or if she's, you just expect that if a child has an illness, that the mother is going to be there to take care of them. But we still got a lot of mothers that are trying to contribute to the household financially. So that's
Right.
amazing. That's amazing. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. Yeah. She did say the daughter is in school during the day, so it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you're gonna autograph a copy of that book for for her and get it together. All
Yeah.
right. On Books and Besties, we try our best to help encourage you to write a book. And if you think you have a book in you, we can help you publish it. But keep in mind that just because you write something doesn't mean it's ready for publishing. It needs editing. Everything needs editing, and not just from the girlfriend down the street who likes to read books. Your manuscript needs to be edited. So once a month, we bring this video called The Necessity of Editing. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, we want you to read the closed caption, read along as you listen, and we'll discuss that a little bit afterwards. But Avalon and I want to introduce you to the necessity of editing, and we'll be back.
Yes.
The necessity of editing. Hello, my name is Sonia, and I am a professional content editor. The difference between a proofreader and a content editor, as I have just recently learned, is care. A proofreader, though still respecting the boundaries of punctuation, which are very important, often will not clean up the statements that you have looped together and presented as a periodical. A content editor will read, proofread, punctuate, and clean up your content as necessary. Both are crucial, especially if you are nervous about your English skills. Today, I would like to talk to you a little bit about the necessity of editing. I am the type of person that catches the error before seeing the content. One of my biggest gripes is seeing an error on an obituary. What? Oh my goodness, these are the last words that anyone will ever read about you. Even in grief, spell check still works. I encourage you, write your own final words if you believe that your loved ones will leave grammatical and spelling errors unchecked, but I digress. In this time of artificial intelligence, I have found that our God-given intelligence has disappeared. Grammarly, ChatGPT, and those electronic assistants are convenient as a starter, kind of like a recipe for a dish. However, just like a good cook goes back and ensures they have included everything and even enhances that recipe, a great author still needs to go back over their work and finalize before completion. If you do not want to do that, I implore you to hire someone that will. A fresh eye makes a world of difference. The written word often shapes a picture of the author by the reader. When synonyms are used interchangeably, adverbs are tossed about incorrectly, and punctuation is just doing its own thing, an avid reader will lose interest in the plot and grow tired of making corrections in their head. Some authors happily pay a photographer or even an artist twice as much as the book is being sold for, just to ensure that their headshot catches the eye of the reader. However, their lack of having a second eye proofread and edit their liturgical baby leaves the reader of your masterpiece distracted and missing the point of the story. I will never forget mourning a grandparent. These arrangements of hers were taken over by a distant relative who was believed to be capable of handling this huge responsibility of presenting this decades-old life in a single 5x7 page. The misspellings of names, cities, and even occupations brought new tears to my eyes. Not only were some of these facts able to be easily researched, but the lack of care and concern before this final complimentary life story went to print was appalling. The necessity of editing is clear. I equate reading a book to watching a movie. However, you're able to place it on hold with a bookmark versus a streaming remote. Unlike a movie, the pause is controlled by your reader, not by the electronic device that allots you a full 3 minutes to pause your television stream, then return to the last spot that you were watching. A reader has the opportunity to turn the page or close the chapter, both literally and figuratively. No one wants to wade through a run-on yap session on a paper that left a dangling participle leading into a paragraph that begins, "The nectar day." What? Whose nectar? What day? Just like that, you've lost the attention of your reader. Sure, they may come back only to run into a new scenario that begins with two people speaking without proper identification, properly identified punctuation, and then this turns your reader's moment in time mental escape into a deep pondering chore, i.e., work. The AI assistants care nothing about punctuation. Their job is to lay out their opinion of what you'd like to hear and read, and your plight is to build on it while an editor's delight is to clean it up for the reader. The joy of a content editor is to take your raw thoughts, words, and emotion from babble to brilliance, from wondering to wonderful, from an unfinished read to a page-turning pleasure. Friends and family are excited that you have decided to delve into this new chapter, pun intended, of your life. So criticism about your incorrect usage of your versus your won't be shared with you. However, your audiobook narrator will find themselves starting over and over again, potentially losing that new reader joy that's expressed in their voice. It's gone, and so is the listening. In conclusion, nurture your book as one would anything born from their loins. Create, spell check, give it to your hired content editor. The passing of your book from your eyes to proofer eyes will correct your missings and enhance your musings. I personally care enough to make you sound your very best. I am Sonia B, and I approve this message.
She approves this message. Now, if you were watching the closed caption, you realize there were errors in the closed caption. So even when you're relying on closed caption to help get your thought and your words across, you need to edit the closed captions because sometimes they don't get it right, just like the video that you just saw. So the necessity of editing is something that we try to bring to you once a month, and I just can't believe it's February already. Okay, Avalon, come on back in. We have Antoinette
Yes.
Scott that has arrived. Antoinette is here. So, can you tell us a little bit about her?
Okay. Yes, Leola Antoinette Scott is an award-winning author and an educator based in California. She's celebrated for her impactful work in children's Christian literature. She's a recipient of multiple honors, including 23 New England Book Festival Award, the Pinnacle Book Achievement Award, the
Mm,
2024 Gold Medal Christian Book Award for Young Readers, and the Pencraft Award for Literary Excellency. With an advanced degree in early childhood development and human resource counseling and a PhD forthcoming, she brings decades of experience as a preschool owner and educator into her storytelling. Since 2015, she has written inspiring children's books that nurture social emotional learning, imagination, and empathy, empowering young readers to grow, learn, and thrive.
mm. All right. Welcome to the show, Sister Scott. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello. Hello. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for
Yes,
this amazing opportunity.
of course. Yes, yes. Tell us a little bit about yourself that I haven't told.
Okay, well, I am Antoinette Scott, as you all know. I have been married for 34 years to my best friend in the whole world, Clifton, and I have five beautiful children. The oldest is almost 30, and my youngest is 21. And everything
Wow.
else in between. So I love children, I love family. I love that whole construct. So that is my life.
Wow.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. We love it here in California. Beautiful place to
Oh,
live. And was born in Bakersfield and I'm still here. So very
good
grateful
for
for
you.
that.
Good for you. Good
Yes,
for
yes.
you. Good for you. You have your title as Parent Education Initiative. Can you tell
Yes.
us about that?
Yes, ma'am. So, Parent Education Initiative is the LLC that everything that I do is under. I'm a owner and operator of a small child care, and so the Parent Education Initiative is just the umbrella that everything is under. That includes all of my authorship, and everything else that I do is under that umbrella. And so we really cater to the Black and Brown community, whether it be book writing. I parent coach. I need to give a shout out to Shades of Motherhood Network, where I'm a peer support lead. I lead a team there of about 10 to 13 people in which we do peer support for doulas, for the Black and Brown community, as far as women being with child, really making a safe place for them to be able to birth safely. A little fun fact, I am a doula coach, and so I just birthed my first child this year, so which was super exciting
Wow.
to be able to take a hand in seeing life come into the world. And so definitely praising God for that.
Hmm. My
Yeah.
goodness. My goodness. I want you to, if you got a pen and paper handy, I want you to jot down a website I'm going to give you. It's www.mmfavored, FAVORED dot. Now I got to remember if it's .com or .org, but it stands for Maternal Matters Favored.
Mhm.
And let me see if it's com. Nope, it must be org. It's Florida based, but um they reach out to other organizations to partner with them. mmfavored.org. That's the website. Sounds like the Parent Education Initiative and Favored would work nicely together. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so very
Wow.
much. Absolutely. I'll definitely be reaching out to them for sure.
Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so tell us about your books. Did you self-publish? Did you have a publisher? How was that process for you?
So the process was I actually started with Zulon Christian Publishing with my first book. So my first book was called Wooby's Journey, and did not have the best experience with them. But that being said, I went ahead and just began to self-publish myself. It was a learning experience, but I think I kind of have it down to a T now after a lot of trials and errors. But my first book, Wooby's Journey, I'm just going to kind of show you guys a copy. This is Wooby's Journey, and it's about a little boy named Isaiah, and his grandmother makes him his little blanket called Wooby. And so this is actually used in some doctor's offices where they help children that are dealing with death. So Isaiah's grandmother passes away, but her legacy is left through the blanket. And so the blanket kind of transforms as he gets older. So when he's little, it's a blanket. And by the time he gets married, it ends up being the tie that he wears when he's married. So it and
Oh.
transforms everywhere in between, but it speaks on with our elder beautiful I say imaz, which is a Hebrew for wise brown woman, um that their legacy lasts throughout generations, and it carries through with little things like blankets or maybe a little trinket or whatever the case scenario may be, but their legacy never dies. And so in doctor's offices, they will use this as a kind of an open invitation for children just to kind of be able to speak about maybe someone they lost, whether it be their mother, their grandparent, whatever the case scenario may be. But it lets them know that, hey, the legacy is still there. The love is still there. The love never dies. And so it's definitely a precious book to me because it was my very first one. So it's definitely been helpful for children that are dealing with the concept of death.
Mm, my goodness.
Yes. Some of the other books that I've written, this is another one. This is the one that has won quite a few awards. It's called The Land of Hearts. And it basically speaks on the journey of the heart, whether that be you have a broken heart, a sick heart, even an angry heart, a hardened heart. But if you take your heart to the king will heal your heart. And so
Right.
they're all on this amazing journey to go see the king. And there's kind of this kind of battle between the good hearts or the hurt hearts and the bad hearts. And they're just going on this journey to say, hey, let's let the king deal with all of these matters. And so they make it to the king, and the king gives them each exactly what they need. And so I'll let you guys meet the king. Here's the king here.
Oh, how cute.
Oh,
So he's got his little cape on. He's got his little cape on. And so these are in the works right now so that we can get them to the children so they can have the King of Hearts to snuggle with at night, and just to
oh,
remember that
nice.
it doesn't matter what their little hearts are going through, that the king can heal them. The king can help them.
Amen.
That's
And
Amen.
beautiful.
so again, this
Yes.
is and as you can see on the front of the book, you can kind of see, the different little hearts. Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah.
That little
yes.
this is little wise heart. He's the one that kind of guides them through the journey. You have sick heart, broken heart, and everything in between.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Nice.
so it is that was a really fun book that the Lord had given me, at both of them, just to children hurt, and I think with owning a child care center and seeing children on a daily basis and seeing what they
Yes.
go through, their experiences are very real, just as real as ours as adults, and I really wanted to cater to their hearts and their understanding to help them to be able to heal and to validate where they're at as children. So that's definitely a book that is close to my heart. It's very, very close to my heart.
Yes.
Oh.
The next book that I have, this is called When I Was, and it's just a milestone book, and it's just a journey of what it looks like to grow up. Very, very simple book. So I'll kind of show you one of the pages here, as it's going through. Let me show you one of my favorite. So, and it's very, very simple. It's a little girl sneaking into the cookie jar, but it says here, when I was 6, I was quiet as a mouse. So very simple. And as the child grows up, it just veers into the kind of things that they do at that age. When you're 6, you're kind of sneaking around and getting into the cookies and getting into things you shouldn't be getting into. But it just shows the child that, oh, hey, I grow up and these are some of the things that I do. And then when you get to 17, when I was 17, I was bold as a lion. So, 6, you were sneaking into the cookie jar, but now you're a public speaker, and so it just shows that different ages you do different things and you hit these different
Mhm.
milestones. And so, very simple, sweet book. A lot of the preschool um, uh, facilities around here like to use that book for the smaller children. And then my
Wow.
latest book that's out, and I don't know if you can see my backdrop.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so it's got some little hair things on there. Um, Different products. There's the book. It's called Hair Dreams, and it's just a celebration of our hair, celebration of all the things that our hair can do. So it's called Hair Dreams. And the kind of anthem it has in it, it says, I dream about my hair and all the things that it can do. I dream about it for me, and I dream about it for you. It says, I dream
Aw.
about hair that stretches to the sky. I
Mm.
dream about all the puffy clouds way up high.
Aw.
Cute.
And I love this particular one. I want to show this to you all. Um, let's see. Sneak it in here somewhere. Let's see. Ah, and it says, I dream about my head wrapped like a queen on a beautiful fall day.
Oh.
Aw. Looks like you, Avalon.
So, and then on the back, it has a scripture, and it says, it's from Psalms 139 and 14. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works. And that my soul knows very well.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
So on Monday, we will be having a booth at Sacramento State University where my daughter goes to school, and she will be manning the table to have our first introduction of the book to the community. So very
Oh,
excited about that.
yes.
And this is dedicated actually to my daughter because she has had all the amazing hairdos from the afros to the box braids to now she has locks like her mama, and everything in between. So it is dedicated to her, and I'll show you that page. This is my daughter, and
Oh,
her name is Promise Joy, and it's for
Oh,
the
wow.
promises of God and the joys of having children.
Oh,
mm.
nice, nice,
So
beautiful.
it has been a journey. And I will share this with you guys. No one else has heard about this yet, but I do have a book in the making right now, and it's called Brooklyn, Her Baby Doll and Her Beautiful Bonnet. So it's about a little girl named
Oh,
Brooklyn, and it's about all the beautiful bonnets that our people wear. So
Oh,
super
wow.
nice.
excited about that coming out as well. So
Oh,
lots of excitement going on, and I'm very grateful to God to be able to use me as a vessel to put these books together for children. So very, very
Nice.
grateful for that.
well, I want to give some shout outs right quick. Very special shout out to author Shantae Lennon. She is watching today and gave us a little heart. So thank you very much for that. And Malachi Steele Sr. and Leola, I appreciate you guys for checking in. It's the bottom of the hour, so we are going to take just a quick break. And if you have a question for our author, you may text it to 407 914 6519. And we will get that question answered from our guests. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
A must read for every music lover and aspiring dreamer. The ups and downs of Toon's guitar journey. Follow the incredible journey of North Toombs Woodall in his new memoir. From the moment he picked up a guitar at age 11 to forming his own bands and performing alongside world-renowned musical legends, this book captures the soul, the struggle, and the ultimate triumph of a true artist. Order your copy today. Available on Amazon and Tunes.net. That's the number 2, Tunes.net. The ups and downs of Toon's guitar journey. Order your copy today.
Still, I care. Nurses rising after bullying. Presented by visionary author Avalon S. Brown, RN, BSN. Still, I care. Nurses Rising After Bullying is a powerful and restorative anthology that amplifies the voices of nurses who faced workplace bullying, yet chose resilience over silence. Within these pages, their stories uncover the unseen wounds behind the scrubs, where whispers, exclusion, and systematic mistreatment tried to dim the light of compassionate hearts. But these nurses did not surrender. From quiet tears in the break room to hard-won triumphs at the bedside, this collection celebrates the courage, purpose, and unwavering care that embody the true spirit of nursing. Whether you are a nurse, a healthcare leader, or someone who has ever felt overlooked, this book will encourage you to rise, advocate for others, and believe that healing is always within reach. Still, I care. Nurses Rising After Bullying. Presented by visionary author Avalon S. Brown. We can help you put the pieces together. Audiobooks, flyers, commercials, and more. Angie BEE Productions on Facebook. Hoo-hoo! You are watching Books and Besties with your co-host, me, Dr. Angie BEE, and author Avalon S. Brown. We've got so much packed into today's show that I just want to be sure that if you have questions, you know the number to send a text to, which is 407-914-6519. We do have one question that came in for our guest. So, Avalon, I'm bringing you back in. And then, Antoinette, we're going to bring you back in too, dear, so we can ask the question that was presented. What hair care products do you use for your daughter?
So my daughter is 23 years old.
Oh, okay.
And so what hair care product she's currently using, I'm not sure. But she uses basically everything. I'm not sure what honestly, I don't know what she's using right now. I really don't.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm sorry I can't answer that question. I know she just dyed her hair. So it's kind of
Oh.
like it's not quite blondish looking, but it's beautiful. It's
Oh.
very, very beautiful. But yeah, she's older now, she's in college, and I can't tell you what she's what she's using.
I got you. I got you. I got you. So understood. Avalon, I'm sorry. I know you got a question. Go ahead, honey.
No, no, she did. I wanted to know about the books, but she did. She showed us the books. I thought
Mhm.
that your daughter was a younger child too. That's the listener probably thought so too.
Yes,
From your
no worries.
books. Yes.
Yes, I have my five children. My two oldest are electricians. My third born is a behavioral aid teacher. And then my daughter, she is in college, and as well as our youngest, who's 21, he's in college as well. So everybody's older now, and
Older.
yeah, things are a little different now. So a little bit more freed up. But the I'm freed up in one way, but prayed up in a whole another way. So prayers get bigger as they get bigger, right? And so, yes, 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 yes. But I definitely um I enjoy children. Children are close to my heart. And working with kids on a daily basis and seeing the great needs that they have and realizing that books are a great tool to help children to be able to understand things that maybe they're not ready to understand, things that they're coping with that are very difficult for them to articulate. And
Right.
so books are one thing that definitely helps them to understand that, hey, my hair is beautiful, or hey, I had a grandparent that passed and everything's going to be okay because I have this thing that's this, tangible thing that's a memory of them, and that's never going to die. That my heart is hurting and I can take my heart to the king and be healed. And so just these like little simplistic things that, we have a greater understanding because we're older, that this helps them journey through life and helps them to navigate things that are very difficult for them. So that's my heart with children's books, and I definitely would encourage anyone out there that's wanting to write a book, especially for children. Just go for it. They're much needed. Yes, there's a plethora of books out there on a plethora of different subjects, but just having something new, something fresh, your perspective is going to be a little bit different than someone else's perspective on the same subject. That's going to be helpful to one child that it may have not helped for another. But I would encourage you to write that book. Don't be afraid. There's so many resources to use to put everything together. And I think sometimes people think that writing a book is difficult. It's just a step by step thing, from the manuscript all the way to finding that illustrator, all the way to getting that book sized, and just everything in between. Just take it step by step by step by step. And at the end of it, you're going to have this amazing book that can be shared with so many different people. And so it's not a scary thing. It's just something to do, and just go for it. I would encourage anybody just to go for it.
Wow. And that was going to be my next question. Do you have any advice, words of wisdom to pass along to folks that maybe have a book inside them, but they don't know how to get it out?
Yeah, for me, I know people are like, well, how do you write the manuscript? And for me, it's the Lord just gives it to me. I mean, I can't even say do it this way. it just, I have to give all glory to him. You know, he gives it to me and it just comes out on the pen, or, you know, on the computer, I'll type that out, whatever the case scenario may be. That is me. That is how the Lord uses me. And I think when it comes more naturally and it's something that's close to your heart and it's a personal experience or whatever the case scenario may be, it's going to be more impactful than if you force something that you're really not familiar with or you don't have the life experience with. Write a book on something that you have life experience in, that is close to your heart. It's going to come through more genuine and truthful and natural, and it's going to impact that audience that, you know, maybe has the same situation that's going on. I do have another book. It's called Kaleidoscope, and it'll be available in October because that's National Dyslexia Month. And this is kind of a fact a lot of people don't know about me. I have dyslexia. It runs on my father's side. And so I would say that, you know, God kind of has a sense of humor to have a dyslexic actually be an author. But,
Yeah.
you know, he uses, what does that scripture say? Something about he uses the weak to confound the wise, you know, and it's like, okay, this one area where I'm weak at, he's using it to confound the wise because that's just what he does. You know, he's magnificent in everything that he does. And so the book Kaleidoscope is about a little girl named Lyric that has dyslexia. So it's a book about myself. So
Mm.
when you're writing a book, make sure it's something that, again, that's close to your heart, that's your life experience, because it's going to be extremely impactful to that audience.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Let the Lord use you. Let him
Yes, that's
use you.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yes,
I, I
ma'am.
s-
Absolutely.
I remember reading in your bio about human resource counseling. What do you do? Some type of counseling?
Yes. So, under the Parent Education Initiative, I do work with women one on one in sharpening their parenting skills, especially within the Black and Brown community. It's very close to my heart. Um, Being a parent has been one of the greatest joys of my life. Um, Never thought I would be a parent. My husband and I, we were married for 6 years before we had our firstborn, CJ. And man, when I held this little bundle of joy, I thought, oh my word. What is this love? What is this gift? And it was done after that. It was just done after that. And so, but I realize that parenting is just not, yes, in a sense, it comes natural, but in the society that we live in, and there's so many nuances of what a parent looks like, it's like, okay, what is God made this platform? I mean, He made parenting. So, what does this look like? And so, I like to work with women in sharpening their parenting skills so that we can have a great result, you know, in our legacy. You know, this is legacy building, and we have to figure it out. And then so I have an amazing mother. Shout out to my mother, Stephanie Nobles Beans, amazing godly woman. She is a retired professor from Whitworth University, and she is actually an author and a poet herself. And so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say. But shout out to my mama. You know, we really need to focus in on helping society as a whole. And
Yes.
that's going to be being a great mom. And
Yes.
that's a learned thing. We have to learn. There's so many things even now. I've never been a mother of 5 adult children. So I
Yes.
need to be in circle with women that have gone down that path, right?
Yes.
And so, Parent Education Initiative is there. I'd like to help women to get resources, um, get ideas, and just to help them be the best moms they can, because we're all learning and we're all growing. And
Mhm.
so, yes, I do counsel women within the genre of parenting. And so, if you ever need me, I am here for it. I do offer 2 free counseling sessions to two people, 2 moms per month that I give out for free. We cancel once a week, just to get them sharpened. And if it's something they want to continue on, great. But I want to see our legacies thrive. I look at my children now, and we're very close. Where they're just not my children; they're my friends now. But I'm still their mama. Uh, just gonna put that out there. But the relationships are great. And but that came with really being mindful and purposeful in reading those parenting books, being in those parenting classes, asking advice from um, older moms. You know, how do I do this, or what does this look like, or this is the experience I'm going through. I really, I'm a big advocate. I'm not going to your peers because that's not a good thing. I need to go to someone with the experience and with the knowledge so that I don't have to, work through all these mistakes. And so, so yes, that is what I do. That is what I do, and I'm very grateful that God is allowing me
Awesome.
to do
Yes.
it.
Praise the Lord. Praise the
Yes.
Lord.
Yes, yes, praise the Lord.
We got some comments from Monet by Malaysia. I hope I didn't butcher the name, but she said, "Thank you for the information. Amen." So that works out really nicely. You are reaching the audience. Let me put your contact information up on the screen. Do you have a email or a website you'd like people to contact you?
So the best place is going to be AntoinetteScott.com. That is my website. You will find all of my contact information there. You will find all of the books there. I would encourage everyone to get Hair Dreams on Amazon, the ebook. It's only $2.99. But on the website, there is the song that goes with the book. And so it's just the words verbatim. And it is the funnest thing ever to be able to flip through the book and listen to the song at the same time. It's just fun. That's all I'm going to say. Do it or don't do it, but I would do it if I were you.
That's
Just do it.
great. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah,
Okay, we're going to
I actually played it for my I read it to the children at my daycare and played the song, and boy, they just lit up like just light bulbs. It was beautiful.
Wow.
That's so cute.
It was
All right,
beautiful.
Antoinette, we're going to put you backstage for just a little bit if you can hang out with us in case we get another text message question in. I hate for you to be gone, like for you to hang around a little bit. And Monet said I pronounced her name correctly. So
Oh, wow.
praise the Lord. That's so good. Thank you, Monet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have had just a wonderful time today. And
Yes.
yes, listening to these testimonies, right?
I'm telling you, yes. Both of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Yes.
Yeah, they're taking care of their children. I tell you, it amazes me. It really does. All right. Well, earlier in the show, we talked about uh, the Preventing Burnout Behind the Sacred Desk. It comes up in Daytona Beach, Florida, February 28th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to noon. If you'd like to register for this Daytona Beach, Florida based event, you can register at www.cjaqis.com. cjaqis.com. And if you can't be there in person on February 28th, they're having it again on March 7th from 10 a.m. to noon, except it's going to be virtual. Preventing Burnout Behind the Sacred Desk, a virtual event. Register online at cjaqis.com and ask them any questions you may have for more information. Now we want you to save the date. This is the 10th annual Bold, Beautiful, and Bald Beauty Bazaar. It's coming to Jacksonville Beach, September 18th and 19th. So we want you to save the date. You're coming to the beach to celebrate 10 years of self-love. 10 years of self-love. For more information, you can send an email to Bold, Beautiful, and Bald. That's and, the word spelled out. Bold, Beautiful, and Bald at gmail.com. Vendor registration just opened up yesterday. Early bird vendor registration is now open. And if you happen to be a bold, beautiful, and bald person from any form of alopecia, we do invite you to join us as a model. Join us as a model. No experience necessary. Just gives us an opportunity to get dressed up and parade around and spread alopecia awareness and acceptance. So that's a lot. We got a lot going on. Just but I'm thrilled about what we've been able to do on today's show. I'm thrilled. Got one more question for you, Antoinette. So I'm bringing you back in, if you don't mind, bringing you back in. Um, the audience member wants to know, did you may have answered this already, but did you self-publish or do you have a publisher?
Self-publish. I self-publish. I definitely would encourage it. Definitely would encourage it.
Oh, why?
I think it gives you freedom to really put yourself in the book. I think it makes it more personable because you're taking those steps, all of those steps, to put this book together. I know for me, with each of my books, it just becomes more and more personal. The books are just more and more closer to your heart because you're putting in all that work. Unfortunately, I stated before that I had a bad experience with a publisher. Unfortunately, people aren't as honest as, they should be. Um, but I think it's kind of my safe space, to do that. And I'm not saying I wouldn't ever have it published through a publisher again, but this is working really well for me. And I think sometimes self-publishing can be scary to people because they don't, they've never done it before. They don't understand all the nuances, but it's not as difficult as you think it is. And fear is not of the Lord. And if it scares you, that's a good thing. If just do it scared, that's all I have to say. Just do it scared, um, because the end result is, I remember one time I ran a half marathon, and there's a quote by Henry Ford. It says, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." And when I got to the end of that marathon, I was like, "Did I just pay to run this far?" Did I just pay to run this far? Because you have to, do your entrance fee. And it wasn't difficult. It wasn't that difficult. It was the training, the training, running all those miles, all those months, and then you go through the whole process and you're like, and it's the same thing with self-publishing. It was like, okay, there was some training there. There was some learning, there was some hiccups, there was some Charlie horses, there was some whatever. But at the end of it, you get this really beautiful result and you're just like, that wasn't as difficult as I was thinking it was. And look at the end result. I got that medal, I did the thing, I can check that off my bucket list, or I did, finished this book, and look at all the lives that it's touching. Whatever the process may be of you putting the book together, I will tell you it will be worth it. Just like the previous author that came on earlier, the impact that her book is making within that circle of community that she's in is huge. It is far reaching. Her book is for the children that will be born with that same situation. That book is going to be available to them. So it's not just for the current children in that particular situation, it's for the children that are going to be born in that situation, right? So it's already there.
Yes.
And so, Wooby's journey is for children that are going to potentially lose someone. It's going to happen. It's just a give me. The book is already there. It's available. It's in therapist's office because they're going to need to possibly go get some therapy and talk through some things. Those books are there, and so it's not just
Yes.
for the moment. It's not for, these books are not for us. They're a spillover for other people.
Right. Absolutely.
It's true. Yes.
Spill over for other people. So
Mhm.
the next question that came in for you is, how did you get your books in the schools?
You know what? It's all footwork. It's all footwork. I'm actually delivering a setup to two schools for the Land of Hearts. Um, you have to send emails out. You just put together kind of just a general letter, introducing yourself, introducing your book, and letting them know why it's important that they have that book at their particular school, whatever the case scenario may be. The particular two schools are Christian schools. And so let them know how it's going to be beneficial. And you're going to get some emails back. You have to go to the schools as well, introduce yourselves, gift a book. Gifting is really, really important. Getting on your social media platforms and, working smarter and not harder. Know your audience. If I have a children's book, I'm not going to go and present it to, some adult platform, right? So I think sometimes, and what I have learned through experiences, I was wasting a lot of times presenting my book to a platform that didn't need it, right?
Mhm.
So be very, very strategic, very, very specific on who you're introducing your book to, and make sure it's going to be beneficial for that particular platform that you're introducing it to.
Okay.
And so that's what I do. I really make sure that I introduce each book to that particular audience, so I'm not wasting my time or their time.
All right. That'll do it. You got any final thoughts or
I just want to say
comments?
thank you all so much. This is an amazing platform. I've been on it, looking at all your YouTube videos since I was invited to be on the program. And I want to say you ladies are such a blessing and such an
Mm,
Thank you.
inspiration,
Thank you.
and reaching into the community. Some of the impact, you all will never know who you've actually reached. And so thank you all so much for just being who
You're
you are
welcome.
and doing what you do. Such a blessing. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on your beautiful platform.
Of
thank
course. Thank
you,
you.
Sister Scott. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And when your next book is out, get in touch with us so we can hear
That's
about that
right.
one.
Absolutely. God bless both of you and have a wonderful
Follow
rest of
your
your day.
You
journey. You
too.
too. Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Oh, I
Yes.
love her. I love her. I love
Yes.
her.
Yes. I have to reach out to her again
Mhm.
today.
My goodness, that
Yes.
was something. Dyslexic,
Wow. You would never know.
man, from the
There's
beautiful
a talent
bio.
in everybody. Yes.
Sure is a talent in everybody. You're right about that. Very special shout out to Bianca Simone. Thank you for joining us today, Bianca. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. We appreciate it. And we certainly do appreciate each of you for joining us today on Books and Besties. I think the biggest compliment that we could receive is that this show was able to reach somebody who needed the information
Needed.
that was in today's show. So please like us on Facebook, please like us on YouTube, and share the love, share the show with somebody. You never know.
Yes.
They don't
Yes.
have to be going through the exact issue that our guest was going through, but maybe the guest said something that will encourage them and let them know that God has not forgotten them.
That's
So
right. Yes. Amen. Yes.
please spread the word. Please spread the word. Well, I got something to tell you. You ready?
Now what's that?
It is
You
time to
up to?
recruit some kids for the YEP program. So here comes
Oh
Sandra
yeah.
BEE to tell us about YEP. Please allow us to introduce you to one of the graduates of our YEP program.
Hi, I'm Sandra BEE. I live in Michigan. And yep, I'm an author.
YEP, Youth Entrepreneur Author Program. Our goal is to initiate literacy in students and lead them to entrepreneurship through authorship. Our mission is to identify and invite organizations to participate in this program. Students participate in virtual writing workshops where they are encouraged to write their stories and provide reviews of stories read. We ask you to support our youth. For a donation of only $50, Your company or organization will be mentioned as a youth supporter in the next audiobook. Send an email to yup!'I'm-an-author@gmail.com to provide a scholarship for a young person to participate.
Yep, I'm an author.
Proceeds are accepted and disbursed by Angie BEE Productions. And now, these students are authors and entrepreneurs. Follow us online. Just search for Yup, I'm an Author on Facebook. Use the hashtag Yup, I'm an Author. Or call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519 for more information. This program is sponsored in part by Angie BEE and Barty Productions.
Yep, I'm an author.
Yep, she's an author. And every time I talk to her, she tells me she wants to re-record that commercial because she was fighting a cold and so congested when she first recorded it. But Sandra is an author, and yes, your children can become authors too. It is a virtual program where everybody gets on screen and they're guided through a writing session. They learn the importance of editing, maybe putting an outline together for a book. And they especially learn the importance of treating your book like it is a part of your business. Okay. The important thing about having books on your shelf is that you can autograph the books and sell them. But keep in mind, you have to buy those books first to put them on the shelf. You buy them wholesale, sell them retail. And that's an important aspect where you don't want to bankrupt yourself in your own business. We talk about that during YEP. So if you have a child or you have a student that you'd like to enroll in that program, you can just give us a call at 407-914-6519, 407-914-6519. Okay, Avalon, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for
Been a fun day.
Thank you for being the best guest host in the world. I'm so honored to work with
Of
you,
course,
dear.
thank you.
And if
You're
it's the
welcome.
Lord's will, we'll be back on another Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 Eastern Standard Time. See you
For
later,
the
everybody.
strong wind today, don't wait.
Oh, goodness.
The wind is
Okay.
strong today.
Thanks for that. We just need to stay inside with
Yes.
a big pot of chili. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you and be blessed.